Good afternoon. I'm Councilor Dee Knutson, and I would like to officially call our June 2nd, 2008 informational meeting to order. And thank you for being with us. And our first item of business will be an update from Deborah Owen, please.
Thank you, and good afternoon, Sioux Falls City Council. Just a couple of things to remind you of. Next Monday at 5 o'clock, we will have a council picture taken of all of the council members who are now either newly elected or incumbents. And so just to remind you all to come dressed sharp for the picture. And then in addition, just to kind of let you know, even city folks get fire inspections, and we got ours, and we got an A-OK. So see, it happens. Good stuff. And then also just to let you all know that after this meeting today, there'll be a fiscal committee meeting. And that's all I have.
Thank you, and congratulations on your good report. With that, we'll run through our committee reports, and we'll start with audit and fiscal by Councilor Costello, please.
Under the audit committee, we'll have two resolutions tonight. One, which is selecting Ide Bailey as to provide the audit for the next 3 years, and the other one is to designate the audit committee or the audit committee as oversight for that audit. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Brad Witzel, who is the chair, will be here this evening to discuss it as well. So,
any questions? Yeah, Councilor Liz.
Will this be going on in your fiscal committee this evening?
No, this is council tonight. Okay. This is a resolution. There are two resolutions.
So you're bringing forth two resolutions tonight concerning this?
Yes.
Okay. One of them is who's going to be doing the audit.
Right.
And the independent audit.
Right.
And then the other one would be to give oversight to the audit committee.
Correct.
Okay.
And my understanding is that the council will still be the reports will be written towards the city, to the city council, but it just designates the audit committee as that contact. And if Gary would like to interject, or Deborah.
Well, Pat, in your estimation, since you've got some background on this, how many firms in Sioux Falls are actually big enough to conduct this audit?
I would think two.
Two? Was there any discussion about maybe a RFP?
There was a significant amount of discussion about an RFP, and the thought, we looked at a number of different things, and Brad could probably help out more with this evening, but we looked at a number of different cities across the region similar to our size and determined what they were paying for fees and compared that to what their Ide Bailey's fee proposal was. And we were very comfortable with that. We thought that we had a very competitive bid. I won't say it was the cheapest. The other factor is this is a professional services, and I don't believe we are required to seek an RFP on the deal. And I know there is some belief that changing out your auditors is a beneficial thing, but it can actually be detrimental. One is because there is a huge learning curve that goes on when the auditors come in and they have to reassess all the internal controls and get a feel for everything that's happened. We've got years of experience with Ide Bailey. They've got years of experience with us. We read articles and things, studies that showed that more important than actually changing up the auditors is changing up the partner or the managers in charge. And we did have a change of the manager in charge of this audit last year. So we felt very comfortable that the price was very reasonable and that we were able to have a fair price. And again, it's a professional services deal, so an RFP was not required.
Okay, then you talked about the the extensive background and experience being valuable, and I don't doubt that one bit, Pat. But if there was another firm, would they have access to all the prior audits? I would have to assume they would.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they would have to disclose. I'm not sure the mechanics of that, but yeah, they would have access to all that.
Okay. Then the other issue that you talked about was where the audit committee that brought us the external audit and several other improvements would be the people who would get to refer or decide who does the audit. Is that correct?
No. No, the City Council still decides that. The Audit Committee tonight, for the selection of Ide Bailey, the Audit Committee has made a recommendation to accept Ide Bailey's 3-year proposal. City council, that's what we're voting on tonight, and that one of those resolutions is that actual hiring them to do that.
Yes.
The audit committee will be the contact for the city council on the external auditors, since they are, I mean, they're all, well, I'm a CPA, Brad Witzel's a CPA, and Ann's a CPA, Paul's a CPA. The only non-CPA on it would be, I think you, Craig. I knew yeah, no, some would call that a badge of honor. So I think that, you know, during the contact will be between the audit committee and the external auditors and but certainly all the reports, the management letter, and everything else will come to the city council.
Okay, thanks for sharing that with the guy who had trouble clearing 8th grade bookkeeping.
Well, I wish Gene and Brad will be here tonight too, and he can add more
Very
information
good.
too.
And before you go to the next committee report, Deborah would like to share something that she forgot.
I think you're aware, but I just wanted to interject that as a courtesy, that council is being asked to move up, and I know Pat Costello has been involved with this, but to move up items 47, 48, and 52. 47 and 48 are the items that Mr. Costello had already discussed, but then 52 is the confirmation of the new city attorney. So just as a convenience to those folks, I just wanted to remind you that that's on your agenda. Thanks.
And then I'll just finish up with fiscal.
Please.
At meeting, immediately concluding our informational meeting, we'll have a fiscal meeting, and we will discuss the cell phone stipend. So, and I don't know if we may add on the schedule for the draft too, or the budget as well.
Okay. Thank you, Councilor Costello. Land Use Committee, Councilor Litz.
Well, you know, we almost had a meeting last week, but it was canceled at the last minute, so I have nothing to report.
All right. Well, that's a nice short report. Public Services, Councilor Brown.
Our meeting will be next week, 5 o'clock, immediately following the informational, and we'll continue to follow up on daycare. And then, time permitting, we're also going to get into election follow-up with the forms. So, Deborah and Tamara, if you two could be prepared for that discussion, that would be great.
Thanks. We also did sent out, Tamara had sent out invites to those who were candidates in that last election to get comments from them, and from also the political action committees as well. So hopefully we'll have good information from those who were part of the last election process.
And thank you both for contacting those people, and then those of you who did run and won. Please be sure to give the Public Services Committee adequate information as far as, you know, where else can we improve our process, because I do think people who have been candidates recently know this, this process better than some of the rest of us. Okay, is that under, and I was just going to remind Councilor Brown when he said right after the informational, and he means right after the informational and right after our photos next Monday. Just a friendly reminder, Councilor Brown, for Public Services Committee. And then just quickly under open discussion, first of all, I was really pleased that Councilor Anderson could join me at the McKinnon celebration planning meeting last week. And Councilor Anderson, would you just give us just a quick update on that meeting? And sorry, I didn't give him any warning on this. And then I'll remind the rest of you when the next two meetings are.
Okay, this meeting basically was a good start to the planning for the 100-year centennial for McKinnon Park. At this time, they are looking for volunteers to assist in the celebration. It is, I believe, a 3-day celebration, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There will be additional meetings coming up, and I believe Dee will make you aware of those.
Okay, and thank you. And the next two meetings will be actually at the band shell in McKinnon Park from 3 to 5, and you'll feel free to come and go if you can't spend 2 hours at that time of the day with us. But they will be June 13th and June 27th, again at McKinnon Park. And again, this is for those who are listening too, that we are clearly looking for more volunteers to help with that celebration for August 8th, 9th, and 10th. For 100th anniversary of McKinnon Park. And then I also wanted to invite all of you to join Deborah and me tomorrow at the Green meeting. The City Green meeting is it's going to meet at 3 p.m. at the Museum of Visual Materials. And this will be our first meeting, actually. And any of you are welcome to go. I'm going to go when I can, and Deborah will probably go when she can, or she can send other staff if she wishes, or however she wants to do that will work out just fine. But I look forward to working with her on that. And then the only other, one of the only other housekeeping items is last week during the leadership meeting, the mayor and Director Rowenhorst asked me, where we were with the budget schedule. It's the schedule that you have in front of you that Deborah had emailed to us weeks ago, and I believe there were only a couple of us who had actually responded to that particular email. I know we're all busy folks, and so I hadn't heard any comments, and because it was almost June, I just kind of took it upon myself as chair to just say I approve it. And then a couple hours after that, I learned that Councilor Costello had a suggestion, which I always welcome suggestions, and I'm not trying to get ahead of anyone on this kind of thing. I just thought it was almost June. It was time to know what we're doing, even at the council level, as far as the budget hearings. And so, Councilor Costello, do you want to just share just your comment, and then I think the fiscal committee is going to talk about this more, and I'm still considering this approved, actually, as chairperson, but if the fiscal committee wants to revise it and come back to us and revise it, of course, I have no problems with that, none whatsoever.
My idea was that we should stick with, I think, what has been in traditionally where we have had some time separation before we approve of the CIP plan and then the operating budget, and then actually have a resolution authorizing, or I'm not sure if it's an ordinance, but authorizing the appropriation. And I'm not sure that we have enough separation under this, the current schedule, because of the change in the charter, we've been able to extend some dates and kind of condense some others. And I'm just thinking, maybe in fiscal we'll sit down and go through this a little bit more in detail.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying you want more time between August 4th and, you want more time between when the capital program is approved and the...
Well, no more the operating
okay.
budget.
Okay, that's fine. Well, anyway, will you guys just know that, again, I'm a team player, and you go ahead and have that discussion today at fiscal committee and bring us back a recommendation, and we'll go from there, okay?
Hopefully you'll join us.
I don't know. It's a nice day. I might go home and walk my dog, but I may be with you. I'm not sure. If it's, we'll see. Anyway, so thank you for that information. And now, how about the rest of you? Some other open item discussions. Councilor Brown.
2 items. First of all, if anyone has any issues that need to be brought to the attention of the South Dakota Municipal League, the board meeting is this week, Thursday, Friday, and I will be there for that. So you can let me know if you have any issues to be brought forth there. Then also I wanted to just briefly brief the council on, we had a homeless advisory board meeting today, and we spent some time talking about the Housing First model that we've discussed here at this group before. Keep in mind that we have that pilot project running right now that the county is doing that houses 20 individuals. It has 20 individuals in this pilot project, some at the Dakota House, 6 of them, some at scattered sites, and then there's also a control group to determine how much we're spending as a community on these individuals. The goal of this pilot project is, 1, to maintain housing for these chronic homeless people, 2, see if they qualify for jobs, 3, get them applying for SSI, and 4, manage their health care in a better manner. We had 4 individuals that came to testify today who are part of this experiment, and it was pretty profound. One had been homeless in Sioux Falls for 18 years and is now in this project. And he is drinking less. Told us, he was very honest, he's only drinking on the weekends. Another individual has been sober for 2 months since he got into this program. Another one who had been homeless since 1989 now has a job. He is washing cars, and he's been sober since January, since he got into this program. And another individual who's had addiction issues is doing better health-wise In fact, was very proud to invite all of us to his apartment for dinner that he would cook for us. So we're seeing this pilot project have great success. The numbers the county is working on still, but they, in the initial blush, see improvements in the cost and community resources that these individuals are using as a result of this pilot project. So more details will be forthcoming, but I just wanted to share with you. Judy Boosman is the chair of the Homeless Advisory Board now, and Judy, is there anything else about that that I should add? Does that cover it? I do also, a number of you had questions about how do we measure success in this program. Stacy Teason, our homeless coordinator, has been doing much research on this, and I have some sheets for you here that I will pass out that have a number of examples of cost savings that we're seeing in some other cities. At worst case scenario, breaking even, but actually housing these individuals in improving quality of life. So I will hand those out to you, and if you have any questions. I just got these today, so I've not had a great deal of time to go over it, but I want to share those with you.
Councilor Brown, first of all, thank you for representing us so well on South Dakota Municipal League. It's wonderful to have your representation there on that statewide board. And then, as importantly, I know that we are all very appreciative of the probably hundreds of hours by now that you and others have spent on the Homeless Advisory Board. And I just want to reiterate that I am such a strong proponent of the Housing First concept, and I do believe it's time to make it more than a concept in our city. So I'll do just everything I can to help you on that. Would there be any other? Councilor Stagers.
Yeah, I do have a question. I guess I was intrigued with the pilot program with 20 individuals. Do we know any costs that the county has incurred on that pilot project?
I can't speak to the numbers. Off the top of my head, I believe that Hugh Grogan budgeted $20,000 of the county money for this pilot project, which was a one-year experiment. We are nearing the end of that, and those individuals we visited with today would be out of the program should this pilot project end and we not move to some other long-term solution. Judy, I don't know, does the $20,000 sound correct that Hugh budgeted for that? Oh, that's the staffing cost too, yes, because there are 2 case managers in this.
Do you want to repeat that, Councilor Brown, her answer, or have her come forward, one or the other?
It was $50,000 that the county committed to this pilot project. And I would want to verify that with Hugh Grogan to be sure of the numbers, but I'll send out an email once I determine that and let you all know.
Okay. Any other questions for Councilor Brown on either one of those topics? Okay. How about any other items from the rest of you? Councilor Litz.
I just wanted to comment on yesterday. My wife and I went for a 2-hour bike ride on the bike trails here in Sioux Falls, and it's really a fantastic park system that we have here, and I think we should all be proud of it. And I hate to gush on like this, but I went through that, and it just gave me a totally different perspective of the city of Sioux Falls winding along that river. And every place I went that there was a park facility with picnic tables, people were gathered there, and I think that's a testimony to the success of a lot of hard work that this park department has gone through in recent years. And I just wanted to say that I hope in the future we continue to fund the park department in an adequate manner.
Councilor Litz, as you share that, I have to confess I'm not as good about getting daily exercise as I should be, but both Saturday and Sunday my husband and I walked 4 miles on that beautiful bike trail. And they were just it's just amazing, really, always how much traffic there is on the bike trail. So I totally agree with your thoughts on that. Let's see, another item I wanted to just share with you, I kind of like to keep you up to speed on what I'm doing as chair here, is last week, one morning, when lunchtime, Deborah Owen and I met with the current executive director of the Humane Society, the Sioux Falls area Humane Society, Paul Phelan, and he again has been in that position just for about 15 months, I believe, and then one of the board members, Jessica Armstrong, and again the idea was, the Humane Sioux Falls Area Humane Society again is a contractual service, and I'm very well aware of the fact that the administration makes contracts, and I do not. I am just a city councilor, and I know that. But again, they just wanted to start meeting with city councilors just to remind them, that they're still out there working hard and actually trying to repair some damage from the past. And that, again, I think they'll be trying to meet with some of the rest of you. And the contract, as they well know and you well know, is not up until December of 2009. And because Second Chance has a contract with the City of Sioux Falls right now for a 3-year period. And so, again, just wanted you to know that we met with them. They just kind of wanted to catch us up to speed on their service and their website and just their fundraising efforts. And just, anyway, Deborah, is there anything else you'd like to share about that? No. Okay. All right. And any other items that any of you have today? It was encouraging to see in the paper that, local paper today, that Best Buy is getting into the recycling business, including South Dakota. And I'm, of course, always pleased to see that as a serious recycler here. And I think then with that, I'm going to adjourn our meeting for today unless I'm missing something. Okay, I'm going to call our meeting adjourned here at 4:20 p.m. Thank you. Fiscal Committee will meet